Welcome, Sojourners. This is Jonathan with Sojourners Awake. This is a presentation of the one-shot, The Crypts of Azarumme. I received this one-shot from the Arcane Library by Kelsey, and you can find them at thearcanelibrary.com. Yeah, www.thearcanelibrary.com. What I really like about these productions is that it comes from a minimalist approach to Dungeon Master prep. I believe they are intentionally designed to give compelling plots, compelling story hooks, and then really just let the Dungeon Master's imagination go wild. And from that, the players can really engage in a lot of combat, exploration, and social interaction. So this started as a one-shot. It turned into a two-shot, and who knows, might even turn into a campaign. We'll just have to wait and find out, as I think you will see. Without any further ado, I present to you The Crypts of Azarumme. And so, our story continues. The sun sets on a small town named Phandalin. Life along the Mavi Ocean is untamed and new as it is, but Phandalin, being a frontier town, dwells in the ever-present shadow of the wilderness and the ancient unknowns. For though this is a new land for humanity, long ago it belonged to darker dynasties, now lost in shadow and spirit. As the night falls over the outskirts of town, you, the Sojourners, wait in silence as you complete your last mission for the year. The weight of adventure lays heavy upon your shoulders as you slink into the shadows of the town graveyard. Rumors of grave digging have reached your ears, and your patron, Father Baird, has sent you on an expedition to confirm these rumors and, if necessary, remove the criminals. The graveyard is silent, and in the silence of this night, each of you wait for the crime to be committed. And as you rest there, I would like you to take a moment and describe how you appear, especially considering this is the last mission of the year, and you are due for a much-needed vacation. Ted, as always, if we could zoom into your character, as you wait for the grave robbers to arrive, how do you appear?
What you see is a young elf, female elf, thin, and she's been working hard. She's pretty moody. She's definitely ready to be done for this time. She sits there in her robes, and she kind of keeps to herself. I think she interacts when she has to, but she kind of sits off by herself a little bit, probably playing her instrument or just sitting quietly.
Well, hopefully sitting quietly in the dark. Perhaps you run your fingers across your instrument, just itching to play in that moment, breaking the silence. Nevertheless, you must pull off this mission. Ellen, if you would take a minute, close by, you are near this elf. And what is your name, Ted?
Kay.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Ellen, if you would take a minute as we zoom in on your character. You are close by to Kay. How do you appear in the silence of this graveyard?
I am a halfling, short, probably 3 and maybe about 3.5 feet tall. I'm stout with a big sort of beer belly. I'm female, although it's hard to determine what I am. Other than the fact that I have red lipstick on. I'm pretty dirty. I've got dirt under my fingernails. I've got a battle axe that I'm just kind of playing with. And as as Kay is playing her instruments, I'm trying to create a song in my head of what I think she might be playing, trying to be quiet, but it's hard.
Antonia, your character's nearby. You see Birdie and Kay crouched off to the side, perhaps maybe near an underbrush. You've decided to take a little bit more of a flanking position. How do you appear crouching in the darkness in the silence of this graveyard?
So I'm also a halfling. My character is actually has difficulty staying silent because she has Kelna, right? Is it her? She stands there with the quarterstaff, but all of it is really intriguing to her. It's difficult to scare her, and so she finds everything really like interesting and sort of absurd and funny. And so she's standing there super curious about who could possibly be robbing graves, and tries not to kibitz and like whisper to somebody else because she's just like super curious about what's going on. And and so she's just sort of chill and expectant and trying to remind herself to be silent. And as far as physical characteristics, other than being quick short, because she's a halfling, I don't know what her other physical characteristics are, I'm sorry. And I don't know if somebody else has played this character before. Is this like okay, all right. So I wasn't sure if I was like playing this character different than somebody else had. So that's what she's doing.
You hear a breath of a whisper as Kalna begins to just fidget and mutter. Joel, you are standing nearby, and I would like to zoom in on your character. What do we see and how do you appear in the darkness of this graveyard?
Thank you. So this is technically my first time ever playing this, so hey, bear with me, but I'm a quick study. I am a variant human. I keep to myself, I'm quiet, I'm a fighter. I have a power that allows me to merge tools, instruments, especially weapons, with my own physicality. So I become one with this if I do some incantation. And of fighters, I'm more of the stay in the shadow, quiet, strike quickly, and sniper style, like a very like Assassin's Creed kind of character that lurks in the shadows, that can fight but isn't outward about it or extroverted about it all the time or posturing. Only bring it out when I need to. It's precision focused.
So the opposite of me, I'm fidgeting and you're just like
very still, calmly observing.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like this. Yeah, you seem to be the only one taking this quite seriously. Everyone else, whether by weight of burden or by distractions, you're keeping a laser focused. So I would like to zoom in on Patrick's character. You have chosen the lookout. You are keeping a sharp lookout. You're about over 2 stones high, looking down on the scene. How do you appear standing there on that rock?
So Dandelion, he's chosen lookout, but he is the most easily distracted out of all of them. So he's chosen it, but he's kind of knowing it's the last mission of the year. He's getting ready for his entertainer route to kind of hit the road before he starts again. So he's juggling his daggers and he's going over some slam poetry in his head. And he kind of every time he stops, looks around, kind of catches an eye, and then he gets back to his routine. He's a halfling too, completely different from Birdie though. He is a Lightfoot, so he's skinny and lean. He hides in the shadows well, and yeah, he's He's balancing up, trying juggling from different positions, doing like handstands, one thing, just, generally twitching around, trying to be quiet though.
Could all the short people keep it down? I want to be done with this quest and take a break.
Yeah, so you hear the stick crack, and two grave robbers begin moving forward, but you can tell they're very tense, and one of them says, "Don't worry, the ghosts they're just speaking to us right now. Don't worry about the voices." They begin to dig deeper into the grave, and you see that they indeed commit the crime, and they pull up this body. And I feel like Frode, Joel's character, would have seen this, as he indicates he's got this laser-like focus. You see a small, what looks like to be a human bone, maybe like an arm bone, fall out of the pack of one of the grave robbers, and it begins to thrum and hum and glow with this emerald light. And the grave robber curses the other and says, "Oh, you dropped it!" And instantly, out of the ground, a hand reaches forward and begins to strangle one of the grave robbers, pulling him inside the grave, choking him to death. So, Kate, the jig is up, the crime has been committed. How do you lead the team in this moment of response?
It's showtime, guys. She's going to stand up, and from her hiding spot, she's going to throw a dart at the grave robber that dropped the bone.
Okay. You can make a attack if you would like. And Birdie, how are you responding to this situation?
To clarify, I just watched a guy get pulled into the grave. Okay, well, I'm gonna walk up to the grave and look at, and like bend over and just kind of look inside and go, "Hello?"
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check if you would.
Okay.
Kalna, how are you responding to the situation?
Oh yeah, there's no way that I'm not deeply curious about what just happened and running up as well. Like if Birdie's gonna run up, I'm running up and checking out what pulled into the mob.
You do. All right, make a perception check, high number winner.
18.
I have a 7, so
Birdie's looking in the wrong grave. You're looking in the wrong hole, but Kalna quickly runs up to the side and catches Kalna. The first thing you see is that this glowing bone that fell from the pack is glowing a emerald light, and it looks like a human humerus.
Okay, so what I saw, and by the way, it was a 19 with my perception.
Yeah.
No, you're 18. I'm
Okay.
19.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm 19.
You're not there though yet.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
just you
It's just me.
specifically. Oh, I thought
Just
all
the
of us
people.
are rolling.
No, your action effectively have been taken.
My apologies.
Okay, it's okay. So it was 19 with my, I don't know if the +1 helped at all. And what I saw was, I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time? I apologize.
Yeah, the main thing that you notice is when you walk up to the grave, besides the zombie strangulating the grave robber, the glowing green humerus bone has fallen to the side and is just thrumming with this green light. The other grave robber looks terrified at this moment.
Where did it come from? Where did the humerus bone come from, I mean?
It looks like it fell out of the grave robber's pack.
Oh,
He was
he had it
carrying
on.
it. Mhm. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm equally as curious about that. Has my action been completed, or can I check that out too?
Yeah, let's jump into Frode. Frode, you've seen all this transpire. How would you like to respond to this situation?
I typically am drawn toward acting precisely what's happening, but it looks like everybody else is taking a lot of action. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take actually a step back, stand up, and expand my peripheral vision, and just kind of keep like guard out for other things that could possibly coming in, because there's a lot of chaos happening here in front of me. Who's not watching out here? So that's what my attention is going to go, is expand my field of vision to be paying attention. Vigilance.
I like it. I'll let you do a perception check as well as you kind of scan the area. And Ted, what did you get? An 8 for attack?
Yeah, I would say that the dart was going right at him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets sucked into the hole right when the dart just kind of flies over his head.
I like it. Dandelion, you up there on the rock just slamming your poetry, going back and forth. I can imagine you maybe beatboxing a little bit, narrating this scene. How do you respond?
So Dandelion, knowing that he's going to be in trouble because he was supposed to be on lookout and these guys snuck right by him, he's just going to go into the shadows a little bit and just hide.
Gosh, okay. Nice. Joel, what did you get for a perception check?
17.
17. So the first thing you notice is besides the chaotic activity of this grave robbery taking place and this sudden rising of a zombie out of nowhere, the forest is all quiet. But with that level of vigilance, you notice that there's a strong connection between the glowing arm bone and the immediate timing that the zombie awakened. You all have a moment. What ends up happening is the zombie strangulates this grave robber. Now there are 2 dead bodies in the grave itself, and the zombie starts to fade and slowly wane back into death. The other grave robber is booking it, hightailing it out of here, knowing that this is a crime that they have committed.
Well, it looks like our work is done. Let's go.
Guys,
I'd probably start chasing after,
Okay.
knowing that if something happened, I could probably handle myself, or at least leaving it.
Frode, I would say easily enough. With your level of skill, you could outrun this grave robber. So pretty soon you apprehend them, and you can see it's a young man, and he looks panicked in the eyes, and he kind of pushes you and says, "Please don't eat me, don't eat me," and he pushes you back.
Yeah, I guess I would just restrain him, or like try to capture him, grab him, hold him there until the rest of the group can catch up. Probably be yelling, like once, a very careful, like, "I need some help here," something very direct to try to get some attention.
Kay would have taken off as soon as she saw Frode running, and Kay's a lot faster than everybody else. So I probably would have caught up at about the same time.
Kalna and Birdie, you're both kind of still staring into the grave in that area. Anything you're paying attention to at this time?
I don't really want to touch the glowing humerus bone, but I might grab the satchel it was originally in and put it, like, without touching it directly, put it in the satchel, grab that, and then lead everybody back.
As you place it in the bag, the light begins to fade. And you can see now it is, go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
9. Oh, God.
9. With this level, without inspecting it at this moment, you can't tell if it's right or left at this moment. Everything's kind of moving too quickly, and the fear kind of takes over, but you quickly put it in the bag before checking it out. But you are certain it looks like a humerus. Birdie, you're staring into a hole, completely oblivious.
do I see anything glowing in the hole that I'm staring in?
No.
Okay, so I'm not going to look in that hole anymore. And I'm going to look up to see if anything else is glowing around me.
No.
Okay, so all right, so I'm going to use my movement. I'm going to go towards the Frode and see what's going on over there.
All right, the 3 of you are there. Dandelion, where do you want to spend your movement? How do you want to resolve the situation?
He'll go, now that he's kind of seen that they've ran away a little bit, he'll go to the bone and want to inspect it a little bit more and kind of find out why it stopped glowing and what's that all about.
Well, you see that Kalna has placed it in her bag, so please interact.
Hello, what you got there?
Well, I don't want to touch it, but I've got it in this bag, and I say that we take this over to the dude that hoofed it, and ask him what the hell this is and why it's glowing.
Well, where did it come from?
It fell out of the first grave robber, or the grave robber that just got it, that just bit it. It fell out of his bag, and so I reclaimed his bag and put it back in. And now I suggest that we go have it meet its original owner and find out what's going on.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah.
Unless do you want to inspect it right now? I kind of don't want to touch it. I'm super curious about it, but I kind of don't want to touch it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. We're in a graveyard, bones glowing. Yeah, why not?
Patrick, as you reach your hand, the bone does not glow. It appears as a humerus.
So he's touching it, he's picking it up, or he's just looking at it?
And it looks like a simple human bone with no glowing anything going on with it.
Yeah, this thing's out of batteries or something. I don't think it's working. Can he move it around, try and like hold it up, and like see if it changes anything?
Yeah, you begin to move it over closer towards the gravesite, and it appears to start thrumming with a little bit of extra energy and then slowly flicker and fade as it gets closer to the zombies. Well,
yeah, I was like, oh, don't point it in that direction. That's the thing that woke us on, whatever that was up first. Put it back to bag.
Oh, okay, so we don't want them up. Okay, all right, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, let's find out how they got this.
Yeah, let's go get answers, shall we?
Frode and Kate, Birdie is approaching at this moment, and the young man is sitting there. You recognize him as one of the fellows from Phandalin. His name's Rick, and he's currently bound. Frode's got him tied up pretty well. He looks panicked, and he's just shaking his head as if he has been caught. How do you respond?
Rick, what are you doing out here?
Look, I didn't think that would happen. We were just told to go to a pauper's grave and dig it up. It was supposed to be no harm. What happened to William?
Yeah, that looked pretty dumb. Why did you do that?
It was for 10 gold. $1,000, man. I had to do it.
Who's gonna pay you?
Father Baird, of course.
Oh, that guy. Well,
This guy, by the way, just told me he was scared I was going to eat him.
well, you do look hungry, and you're bigger than the rest of us.
Well, now I can see in the light of the moon. You're not a zombie, but I saw what happened to William, and I mean, we were warned about the undead, but I didn't think they would wake up so soon. They were supposed to wake up in time, of course.
And how were you gonna do that?
Well, Father Baird said it was because of the glowing skeleton. It would somehow animate the dead. I'm sorry, it wasn't supposed to happen until we delivered it to the church.
So the church wants undead things walking around?
I don't know. I was just told by Father Baird he'd give me 100 gold. He'd give me the gold and I could get it done. I don't know if the church wanted to use it or not.
Was Father Baird who hired us?
This sounds completely unlike your patron.
All right.
Maybe we should take the bones to the church.
Isn't that where the bones came from?
I don't know where the bones came from. It was given to me. Well, given to William.
Are we there? Can we interact? Can our characters interact?
Yeah.
Why would he hire us to come out here if he knew that you were digging things up? Like, are we supposed to be watching out for you, or did he hire us not to be curious about what you're doing, but rather to, in case something came alive and crawled out of the dirt? Are we there as your protection?
Well, I don't know. Father Baird gave us this mission 3 months ago. It's just taken us a little bit of time. We wanted to wait till the right nightfall and wait till the feast was over. We were procrastinating a little bit out of fear. I don't know.
When did we get this commission?
Just last week.
Can Dandelion check to see if he's kind of telling the truth?
Yeah, I'll make insight check. Yeah.
Yeah, 17.
He is very truthful.
Guys, why were we hired to watch over somebody that had been commissioned by the same person to go dig up bodies?
Maybe we meant to make sure that the job got done, and then we can get the gold. Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are we, like, I don't understand that why we were commissioned to go solve a mystery that was already known to the person who commissioned it. Like, we're supposed to be figuring out what's going on, right? It would, like, unless we killed these people right away, they were bound to tell us that the same person commissioned it. So it seems very weird.
Maybe we were in an insurance policy.
That's what I'm wondering.
Or maybe he knew that the dead would come to rise really early, and we were going to need to be there to stop it or keep it going.
Where does this father guy live?
You would know he lives right in town at the Church of Luck.
We should go talk to him.
This dude that we have, I asked him, you knew that this was going to awaken the dead.
He told us that it would awaken the dead. We didn't know it'd be so soon.
What does
Well,
that
it
mean?
was 3
soon?
months ago, to be fair. You were supposed to do it.
All we were supposed to do is dig up the body, take it to Father Baird along with the glowing staff, or the glowing bone, and it would kind of bring it to life, but we didn't know it would attack us. We didn't know it would be so vivacious at this point. I'm beginning to wonder, maybe that's why he sent us anyway. It's too dangerous of a job.
Do we know whose body it is?
It does seem to be a pauper's grave. Maybe a pauper that, the body itself, without extensive medical knowledge and time to take around, it'd be very difficult to guess who this is.
Well, yeah, do we want to go get that body then and go see that guy?
Saying.
Always a smart head there, Bertie, aren't you?
I'm the smartest of my clan.
Yeah, a lot of this doesn't add up.
It does seem like this would be something very against what Father Bear would request. You know him to be a kind, gentle old soul. To be digging up the graves of the townsfolk that he loves and serves would be highly out of character.
I really think we should take it to the father.
Yeah, let's go do it.
Either way, we're done. Right, Kay said we were done, so I'm ready.
Whatever's gonna get me out of here.
What do you want to do with this guy? Should we let him go or take him with us?
Oh, we take him with us.
All right, let's go. Come
Come
on,
on, Rick. You can walk with me.
I do feel safer. As you leave the graveyard, you enter back into the town of Phandalin. It's been a while since you've been here, and the heavy night rain begins to pour on the city streets. If you are making your way quick into the church's tavern, the churchyard, you see that a light is on in Sister Gariel's cottage. Father Baird's light is out.
Oh, good. We get to wake him up.
How lucky.
I'm good at waking people up.
All right, so
Yes, you are, Birdie.
who proceeds to Father Baird's house?
I'm going.
I think everybody, right?
All right, cool. You simply just knock on the door. Nothing just straightforward into it. It takes a very long time.
Birdie's
Very long.
persistent.
Birdie bangs her club on the door like
Yep.
it's loud.
After a very long time, finally, the door cracks open to Father Baird in his pajamas. Yes. Hello.
Hey, I'm just the doorbell. You guys can talk. I don't talk.
Yeah, I do have a doorbell. You could have rung that. Oh. Hello. Sojourners. Yes. Oh, how are you doing? Have you returned? Were you successful?
I mean, what is successful? Do you know this guy?
Rick, how have you been doing? Yes, doing well.
This guy tells us you hired him to go dig up graves. Is that true?
Dig up graves? What? Of course not. This is preposterous. Rick, no, you told me. 3 months ago you did. To dig up graves, you even gave me the money. That is insane. There's no way I could have done this.
I'd like to see if he's lying.
Let you make an insight check.
Critical fail.
Critical fail, nice. Well,
I've done the
halflings
same
can't
thing.
do natural.
Oh
one.
yeah, that's right. Thank you. And there we go, 17 again.
Okay. And Tony, Kalna, did you get higher than a 17?
No, I
Okay. Yeah, so Dandelion, what you do recognize is this person is indeed telling the truth, but the accent keeps slipping up. It does not entirely sound like Father Baird. There are moments in which the accent breaks a little bit.
Okay.
Dandelion, go ahead.
Yeah, Father Bed, something's not right here. We've known you for a long time, right?
Yes, Rick, why don't you go on home? The rest of you may come inside.
I would like Rick to stay. And Kay puts her arm in Rick's arm and holds him tight.
Fair enough. He brings you all inside. As you enter into this room, I would like to know what each of you is paying attention to. Kate.
Kay is hanging on to Rick, and she is looking around the room to see if anything is out of place or different than in previous visits when we were called to do various tasks. Just looking to see if anything is out of place or noticeably different.
Birdie, what are you paying attention to?
Paying attention to Frode to see where he's standing, and I'm gonna be like opposite him to sort of like be the guard.
Okay. Frode, what are you paying attention to?
I have a general sense of awareness. I'm watching for markers of what was happening in the house. But I'm also particularly paying attention to everybody's body language, but the two people that we don't know as well, Father and the grave digger Rick, keeping an eye on them to see if there's any agitation underneath their behavior that might turn into hostility. Because I'll need to step in at that moment.
And Kalna, what are you paying attention to?
Kalna's paying attention to her own questions. The questions are, why did it take so long for the father to answer the door? I mean, it's nighttime, but why did it take him forever? And then the other question is, why did DeLion say something isn't adding up? And then why did the father tell him not to enter or invited him to leave? Like, she's like super curious about these questions, so she's looking for any piece of information that will answer those questions specifically.
And Dandelion, what are you paying attention to?
So Dandelion, who like almost just slipped and was feeling pretty unlucky with his wand, is just giving a nod and a wink to his altar of the goddess Timora as kind of like you just came through for me again, look at you go, kind of thing. And so he's just paying attention to the space and if there's any shadows to kind of slip into.
All right, what you notice, Kay, is that there is some used toxins on the shelf. These toxins have been emptied. One of the vials is still full, and the stopper has been removed. Kalna, one thing you notice, Rick is a big mouth. He's always been a big mouth here in town. He shares a lot of information. He's not the kind of person you want to let in on secrets. The second thing you notice is that Sister Gariel's light is out, and Father Baird's is on. Sister Gariel is the elven female counterpart to Father Baird.
What time of night is this?
3:00 in the morning.
Okay, so it would actually be more likely that the lights would be out because everybody was asleep, right?
Right, but when you approached, her light was on, his light was out.
His light was out and it switched.
It did.
All right, got it. So I'm assuming that we're not in the middle of dialogue. And do you want to go through what everybody's doing? So should I just ask my question? Okay.
That's okay. Go. Yeah.
So I would actually take note of that. I have a tendency to say my thoughts out loud. So I would say, wait, wasn't that the other way around? Like, why is what just happened with those lights? And I would direct people's attention to that.
Father Baird looks very nervous.
Well, it looks like Sister Gariel is up. Maybe we should go ask her to join us.
He looks incredibly nervous.
And
I think Rick and I will go get him.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see that there's actual Father Baird kind of steps in and says, wait, and looks at UK and says in Elvish, take the boy outside now.
Okay, come on, Rick. Let's take a little walk. I think they've got this handled.
All right. As Rick leaves the room, you see that Father Baird morphs into Sister Gariel. She has a look of shame upon her face, sadness, and fear. She says, I'm the one who sent you, I'm the one who sent you to go stop that grave robbery. Not Father Baird. In truth, Father Baird has been missing for some time. Couple months now.
3 months?
About so. It's been fuzzy because he was spacing out quite a bit during teachings. We lost a lot of money in the treasury, and he began to visit Grimy Gus. Said he needed potions or something. That's strange though, because I'm the one that makes potions.
Were you the person who commissioned the grave digging as well 3 months ago?
Absolutely not. And the idea that Father Baird did that, I know they're saying that and everything, but that is just absolutely crazy. He would have never done something like that. If Rick says it's true, besides using magical means, I don't know any way to coerce him out of the truth. What do you think? And she looks to you, Dandelion.
Yeah, Sister Gariel, the things that I told you when you were Father Baird, that's just got to stay between us, right?
Come again?
No, sorry, just thinking out loud. I can
No,
go.
yes, you have been talking to me for the last month. That is true. I'm sorry. I had no other choice. I mean, you know that if the Waterdeep Alliance found out that a human was no longer running the church, they would cut off her funding overnight. An elf like me can't run. That'd be like the olden days when we ran the empires. They would think we were trying to start a coup. I had to cover for Father Baird, and this is the only way I knew how. I've been doing the sermons, the teachings. I've been running myself ragged, trying to keep the church alive.
Oh, poor sister. Well, it's good of you to do that. Well, okay. Well, I feel better now. Let me go see if I can be quite charming, me. I'm gonna have a little word with our Rick, all right?
Fair enough.
And he'll walk outside, and he's gonna cast Charm Person on Rick.
Right. We'll get to that scene in a second. Kalna, as you and Kay are inside. How are you responding?
What's our relationship with the sister? We know her to be on the up and up, just like the father. There's no shady business going on except that she's covering for a disappearance.
Yeah, absolutely. You have worked with her in the past before. Very common, an elf will support a human in the church systems. She's a sweetheart. She has severe agoraphobia, but other than that, she's really a genuine soul.
All right. Well, I sympathize with what seems to be just the humanarchy, right?
I know.
Keeping the elves and the halflings down.
I know.
Right?
Just keeping us up and keeping you down.
Well, if I trust her, I show her the bone.
Okay.
And I say, listen, this thing was glowing. That seems to be the connection between the zombies coming up. Do you know anything about this?
When you pull it out, her face begins to darken. Where did you get that?
And we say, Rick's partner in crime, who was swallowed by the earth or a zombie or whatever. We're calling them zombies, right? They're not like undead. The partner that was killed by the undead was carrying this, and it seemed to be the thing that woke it up.
That to me seems like an ancient relic that is no ordinary bone. You might be familiar with the Empire of the Azarumme, a pact of werewolves and vampires from long ago. They would collect these bones and piece them together. This to me looks like it connects to something bigger. You have one of the pieces.
So we're carrying something ancient and arcane.
And fractured from a larger puzzle piece. You know, when we built this church, we didn't think there was too much nefarious underground, but I fear Father Baird has... I can't imagine that he's done this on his own volition. But deep under the crypts of the church, something evil might be dwelling.
So this was found here, under the church?
most relics of this nature are. I have heard that crypts of an ancient empire do exist beyond our crypts as well. We've not been able to find them. It seems like someone has found them. And whoever this character is, I don't know if Rick is telling the truth, but if Father Baird gave it to him, that means Father Baird has discovered the ancient empire of Azarumme.
Sure, they're usually found in crypts, but this one was found in yours. You're just guessing.
I'm guessing. We do have a crypt underneath. Mostly just people here in town that have died and paid for the mausoleums. I can't imagine a vampire warlord would be shacking up in such a homely place.
I'm sorry, Birdie, what's your character? Class or...
I'm a barbarian.
Oh, you're a barbarian. You're a halfling barbarian. That's super fun. Okay.
And daftness.
So you're muscle, for the most part. All right, so you're just here to make sure that if anything untoward happens, you beat them up. All right. Okay, so I'm just making sure, because I'm playing my character very loud and curious and a bit of a much like myself, somebody who takes over conversation. So if you wanted to say something, I apologize. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like...
Beautiful.
No,
Actually,
I mean, Birdie's daft, but she's aloof.
Okay. All right, good.
Let me hit something, sort of thing.
Okay. All right, good. So you're listening in, but you're not like, but I wanted to ask about this thing. Okay, great. So where's everybody else? They're out with Riddick outside.
so as we zoom in to Kay and Dandelion talking to Rick outside, Rick looks and says, Are you gonna let me go now?
Here, look into my eye, not around my eye, like into my eye. Look right here, like not around, look right here. Look right here. Hey, now Rick, they these people, they talk about you. They say you got a big mouth, but I don't think so. I think you're a good guy, nice guy, and you tell the truth, right?
Every time.
All right, cool. Well, good. Well, we need some more information, mate. And I think I might be just a charming lad to get it out of here. And with that, he'll cast the spell.
What are you gonna do to me?
And he just needs to make.
And what does it feel like? He failed.
It's just a bit of charm. It's all right. Just to see if you succeed on a wisdom saving.
What is it? Oh my God! What does it feel like?
It just feels like I'm
reap.
looking into his mind with my eyes and just taking over.
Yeah, you begin to see all kinds of horrid thoughts, just total fear and terror. You see the last image of his friend William getting pulled deep into the grave as the dead creature suddenly animated to life and strangulated him. You see him bump into Frode and experience the same level of terror as this dark, menacing figure restrains him in the middle of the graveyard. And then he, like putty in your hands, is charmed. And he looks at you and says, "You're my only friend, Dandelion."
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, you are. I am. Yes. Always have been. Always will be. Now, on the night that you got this quest, what happened?
We got a letter from Father Baird, and he gave us a list of everything, and it was all chicken scratch. It was horrible. Like he was not. I mean, he was like drunk or high or something, and he wrote it down. He gave it to us, and he just looked at us and said, I'm not kidding you, in a horrible, guttural voice, and said, "Bring me these things."
Ooh.
We tried to start collecting and everything, and then the next thing he told us, he started giving us money, enormous amounts of money, inordinate, like $100 for digging up a grave. I mean, the person didn't even pay $100 for that grave. And he's just talking and yammering and just spilling all these beans. He's like, one time in third grade, I leaned over and I was at this party and I began to throw up on everyone.
All right, mate. Yeah, you don't have to do a truffle shop. It's all right. I got you. Yeah. And when was the last time you saw him?
Well, it's just like I said, 3 months ago. I don't know.
All right, mate. Well, where were you supposed to bring all these things to him? Because it wasn't to here. Where were you supposed to bring them to?
We were supposed to throw them down the well in the church.
Well.
Yes.
Okay, that feels good, doesn't it? The truth sets you free.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm the well.
He starts sobbing.
All right, mate. All right. Well, you said you made a lot of money. I think you should go get a drink or something. You've been through a lot.
And in the chat, he sends you the list that Father Baird gave him.
Oh, all right, okay. Okay, all right. Well, I guess we're still going to need some more digging then. All right, and we need to get together. We need to group up.
Absolutely.
Totally. Like, when am I near Rick again? So I can ask him. From
Yeah.
whence did he find this bone? Did the father give it to him, or where'd this bone
So-
come
He's still charmed, so
Yeah, so he's just charmed. You hear him just sobbing outside, and you just kind of look through the window and see him just crying. He looks at you and says, "Well, I'll tell you anything. What do you want to know?"
Where'd the
you
bone
won't
come
ask
from?
many questions.
I don't look. The bone. He gave us the bone. He gave us the letter.
The
We're
father.
supposed to get the body and throw it down the well.
Wait, what? Have we heard this piece of information? Bodies down wells?
I didn't have a
That's
chance.
what he
to
told. That's what he told Dandelion.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
didn't have a chance.
Father Baird gave me the bone. He gave me the list. I held on to it for 3 months. I'm sorry. We were supposed to just go dig up a body and throw it down the well. We're late. We're late. I know, and he's gonna be angry. He's gonna be angry. We were supposed to be dropping bodies down the church well.
All right, Rick. All right. Let's get a word in. It's all right.
So is the well anywhere near the crypts?
Yes, going down the well
Mm-hmm.
would lead to the church crypts.
And is that the only entrance into the crypt?
You don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're supposed like you're supposed to be planting bodies and bones down a well into a crypt. All right.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
yeah,
starting to get clear now.
it seems as if the bones act as a sort of lightning rod or magnetic pull towards undead and activated them, surprisingly. Kay, you're sitting there silently being sloshed by the rain as it's pouring down hard on this 3 o'clock in the morning night. How are you responding to the situation?
She's listening to all of this and she's rolling her eyes like crazy. And her thought is to see if Lady Gariel will help them out by just to go in and check with her about how do we get down into the crypts and where does the bottom of the well end up. So yeah, I think Kay would speak up. She'd say, "Hey guys, so maybe what we do is we ask Lady Gariel to drop the bones down to the bottom of the well while we all go down to where that place meets in the crypts. And we can do a little hiding like we did in the graveyard, maybe a little quieter this time, halflings, and see what happens."
Should we leave the bone up here since it seems to awaken dead things? Can we leave it in the sister? Should we leave it in the sister's care, or are we going to take it downstairs or into the crypt and wake up all the undead things and fight them?
Well, do you think that we need it to lure out whoever it was that was asking for it? I highly doubt that it was Father Baird. Maybe somebody pretending to be him, just like Lady Gariel is.
Birdie, you're hearing everyone speak. How are you responding to the situation?
I'm thinking everybody is dumb and I throw bodies down wells just for fun. And I did it last week without anybody else there. So let's go throw a body down a well.
Frodo, you have a chance to respond to the situation.
I
Anything you
like
want
the
to
idea of
contribute?
throwing bodies down a well.
Okay.
Guys. Obviously, this is like some sort of like undead factory maker. Like we're supposed to be planting, like throwing bodies down wells with bones. This is obviously in order to wake things up. So if we start throwing bodies down with bone, whatever, then we're just gonna wake up a whole bunch of undead things, and we're just gonna have to fight them. Like, are we
Got a
gonna do
list.
that?
It's 100 gold. It's
Sister Gariel speaks up and says, "Look, I know that your vacation is coming up. It's only 3 more hours till your Sabbath begins. I know you've been working hard. But if something's happened to Father Baird, whether something's taken him over or if he's Timora forbid that he's become an undead. I've already asked the Sour Wine crew to go look for him, and they haven't returned.
So we think that maybe the father himself is dead, and maybe the bone will wake him up.
I don't know. Does anybody have any other theories?
Okay.
Well, Rick was talking like he got all crazy with his like dirt voice and stuff, and so I don't know. Maybe he's just been taken over or something. We could save him, you know.
I'm all for going in the crypt, by the way. I'm totally down for going in the crypt. Let's go in the crypt. I'm just trying to figure out if we're doing this the smartest way possible.
But do we really have to work with the Sour Patch Kids? Those guys are ridiculous.
The Sour Patch Kids have been missing for a month now. My guess is if they haven't come back out of the crypts, there's only one reason you go into a crypt and don't immediately come back out.
Because you become a part of it. You are now in the crypt.
Sister,
Okay.
can we ask the sister?
I know it's asking a lot of you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
What are the other entrances into the crypt besides the well?
You want to go look?
That's where we're headed, right? We're headed into.
You just asked us? Gosh.
You go down into the well. This has been a production of Sojourners Awake, the Crypts of Azarumme. Big thanks to the Arcane Library for producing such quality content and adventure modules. You can visit them at thearcanelibrary.com. That's www.thearcanelibrary.com. Stay tuned for part 2 of what happens in the Crypts of Azarumme. Visit www.tabletopaudio.com for more sounds and ambiance. And may your story continue.